Welcome to Righteous Verse, the final frontier, where no women have went before. Come along with Stacy and Kim. They truly are out of this world.
Well, good evening, everyone.
It's been a while. I say that every time we go live.
It's always been a while every time we go live.
I know, because we don't do this seriously.
That's why we have the best moderators, because they stick with us, even though we're like, all right, see you guys next month.
No schedule. See you when I see you. Thanks for being here.
And we really do have video footage from Casadega.
Oh, yeah, but we're also not interested in editing, so.
I got so frustrated with it. I was just like, some of the video I took, it looked like I was pausing the video every 3 seconds, I guess, because the internet was so bad inside of there.
Oh, really? Mine went all the way through. So it must have been, I don't know, maybe you didn't have service. Maybe the psychic, the entities.
It was the spirits that the lady was asking me if I felt. I was feeling them the whole time.
Exactly. On your phone.
On my phone.
That's such a funny story. You guys are going to see it when we finally do make our video, but it was just hysterical. This little lady who asked us if we felt anything whenever we came out of the museum, and Preston just threw us right under the bus.
I don't know.
He's like, well, what did you girls think? Just right under it. Bus was coming and he just pushed us.
He drove the bus, backed it up, and did it again.
Exactly. It was, but what a perfect thing to say, right? Like, I was like, what's he going to say? Thinking that, staring at the wall, trying not to laugh. And he just threw it on us like that. Preston, if you're listening, that was wrong, man. You know it, though.
So say hi to Julie and Big Papa and Tessie and Snowflakey Flake. Love that. Stina Marie. Leon. Hey, Just Bill.
Is that everybody? Did you get everybody?
And I know there, and Gretchen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Especially on a Friday.
I know. We would love to say that we're excited to be here. However, Stacy and I are never excited to do anything involving putting ourselves out there, right?
No, we spend the whole last hour is spent. I regret all of my life decisions up to this point.
Yep. But we're both feeling pretty good, so I guess we'll get through it all right, our introverted selves.
Yeah, and it's not that we don't like talking to like you guys. It's that we don't like talking out loud.
Right. Exactly. Being in the Discord and texting all day, all night, that I can do. But the most introverted live streamers ever. Exactly, Stina. You know us.
And today's just not a real fun topic.
No, it's not. It's actually a pretty gross topic.
He was for a lot of us, he was like our first crush, like My So-Called Life.
Yep. My So-Called Life was one of my favorite shows. And then when he started his band got big, 30 Seconds to Mars. I was
a fan.
Huge fan. So and as a matter of fact, before you're the one that told me about all this stuff, I am not with it. I'm not with the times. I'm such a boomer. So I didn't even know that any of this was going on with him. And whenever you sent me those articles and I started to research it, I was like, ugh, this is awful.
And how far back it goes.
Right. And you just never hear about it. And like Hollywood's kind of pushed it to the side and given him all these giant roles in all of these movies in the past several years. And you're right. He's the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
So, and it's not even just the allegations, because there's a lot of allegations surrounding what he likes to do privately, including with very young people. But also the behaviors he exhibits while he's on set is just, I wouldn't want to work with him.
No, and that's so most of my reading wasn't done about that stuff. It was done about the things that he likes to do with minor children. Most of my reading was stuff about his method acting on set and how he's so horrible to people and everyone hates working with him.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like his method acting, his behaviors were disgusting. And while I was reading all of that on the method acting, before I forget, some guy made a great point. How come whenever you hear about method acting, it's always to explain when they're doing like shitty behavior? You never hear about someone method acting when they're like, oh, I'm going to be reprising the role of Mary Poppins, and they're just going around being nice to people.
Right. No, isn't it weird though? Like, I understand the concept of method acting, but it's strange to me to get so far into character like that you can't even get out of it to be a decent human, you know?
I just always accepted it too. Like, oh yeah, they're just really getting into the role. But now that like this little comment has completely turned my world upside down today after reading it. I was like, or maybe it was on a TikTok. I don't know. I watched a lot and read a lot about this. But this guy, like, it's just a great point. It's only ever to describe or ever to excuse horrible behavior. You never hear about someone going around and feeding the homeless because they're method acting.
Right. No, but what we did hear about is in his newest role for Morbius. I guess like the character is has a blood disorder. So he's like a vampire, a self-proclaimed vampire because of this blood disorder that he has or whatever. And he's supposed to have this chronic illness. So Jared Leto got so far into his method acting with it that he first of all was walking on crutches everywhere and limping, and to feel like so that he could feel the pain of it and feel what it's like. But then they said it was taking too long for him to go to the bathroom and come back on set, and it was really messing with their filming schedule. So they got him a wheelchair, and someone has to wheel him to the restroom every time he needs to go potty. Like, what?
And the director himself came out and confirmed that this story is true. Yeah. He's like, yeah, to move things on along, we made a deal that we would wheel him to the bathroom and back.
Yeah, and from what I read, he wasn't too happy about it, the director. He was kind of snarky about it when he answered those questions.
A lot of times it was just one word, like, yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no elaboration. I was like, yep, he's just getting to the point.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to talk about this guy, but they're going to keep asking me about it. And I'm really pissed off about it anyway. So, yeah, you could like feel the anger in his answers. It's hysterical. Yeah, it's not weird at all, PJ, I know. Not weird at all. Imagine what the set was like when he was the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Well, there's stories about that set too, and they're even worse.
They sure are. I can't even imagine like how bad he was on that set.
I mean, like he was sending used prophylactics.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, ugh,
I think he gave one of them, and like some people say he just sent somebody a pet rat, but other people have reported that he sent someone a dead rat.
oh, I
Like,
didn't read that story.
yeah, I read some of the, and I think like he touched someone inappropriately because that's what the Joker would do or something like that on the set too.
I heard that, and he was sending Will Smith like spent rounds of bullets.
Yes. Exactly, Stina. You didn't really see him doing that, did you? So Stina, I was actually talking to Stina earlier, and she made like a really funny joke, but I won't tell everyone if she doesn't want me to. So I'll give her a
We're
second.
waiting, Stina.
It was hilarious to me. I told her I was going to use it tonight in the stream, but I won't if she doesn't want me to. Of course, Stina's always hilarious.
Yeah, she makes some good jokes. I would think it would be funny if he did in Fight Club if he just walked around and beat people up. Yeah, that would be
So,
hilarious.
in the Discord, I was talking about it. According to many accusers, he's still attracted to the same high schoolers he was in My So-Called Life.
Right.
And Stina says, "Oh, so he's still method acting his Jordan Catalana character."
All these years later, how many years has it been? 30?
I know I shouldn't have laughed at that, but I laughed so freaking hard. Like, it's not something to joke about, but Stina, that one was chef's kiss.
She's got some good one-liners, that Cena. But you know what? Everyone in the Discord does. Like, it's so funny to talk to everybody about all the debauchery and craziness that's on YouTube currently. And then when we get into stories like this, it's hilarious.
So yeah, he's done a lot of horrible shit on movie sets that we've established. A lot of people don't like to work with him. And then I figured, we'd start with like the least worst things that he's been accused of doing, which was the movie sets. So what would you want to go into, like his cult following or into the other allegations? Because I think the other allegations we're going to have the most information on because there's a lot of stories.
Yeah, I mean, like we could talk a long time about that. Like, if you want to just go right into it, fine. It's so the cult following to me, I don't really understand, but I mean, I guess I do because a lot of famous people have it, but it's I don't know, that we should probably put a trigger warning up for what we're gonna talk about next with him. Uh-oh. Are we having mic issues?
Yeah, they said one of the mics is having interference, so I was muting myself to see if it was still doing it.
When Stacy was muted, did you hear the interference? Is it me?
Because I'm not muted now.
Okay, so can you guys hear it? No, you don't hear it now? You think it's Kim, but it's okay now. Stacy, unmute. Okay. How about now? Are we good now?
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
All right, perfect. Must have been just some interference for a minute. Becoming a robot, it happens. Perfect. So yeah, so trigger warning in the chat. Um so I'll just say this came back up and we were talking about it because you saw a tweet that reminded you of this situation with him, right? Where they said um that he's attracted to much younger people.
Yeah, and that tweet's actually from 2018. It's from like when the Me Too movement at its like pinnacle, but it gets reshared every year or so, and people just like kind of overlook it. He just keeps getting jobs anyway, and again, it's just allegations, so there's not a whole lot you can do.
Right. And well, so that's what's so interesting to me is like, why is he getting a pass for this stuff? Because people, like, there's stories about underage minors, and I mean, in Hollywood, this happens way too much.
Well, and so Dylan Sprouse, one of the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody twins. Don't ask me which. I'm too old for that. Even though they're adorable looking. I'm sorry, I'm too old. But yo, at Jared Leto, now that you've slid into the DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, what would you say your success rate is? And in a reply to that tweet was from a reply from James Gunn, who's the director of like Guardians of the Galaxy. And he said he starts at 18 on the internet. And then James Gunn went on to do like a Periscope, which has since been deleted, and I can't go back to 2018 and get it. But it was reported on by a few different like news outlets. He went on to do a Periscope, pretty much continuing to say like, yeah, he likes underage girls.
It's disgusting is what it is. Like, we as a society, like, this happens too much, and we don't get in front of it fast enough, and there's so many victims. But I'm looking in the chat about other people like Harvey Weinstein, who also had really gross things going on, and he got passes for decades.
And people would talk about it, and they would get ignored or ostracized for it.
Well, yeah, with Harvey, there's a very famous clip where Courtney Love says, well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to be sued for libel. Like, she's a victim.
And didn't Rose McGowan, didn't she say like that's why she stopped getting roles?
Yes, because she came out against him. So she stopped getting any kind of work, and people ostracized her and made up rumors about her. And she's been very outspoken about the trouble with Hollywood since then. And she was also a big advocate for Britney. So, and yes, she did grow up in a cult. That is a gross cult, by the way, a really bad one.
And yeah, children of God they're out there.
That's probably one of the worst ones that I've ever read about, because of what they did.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that we don't usually delve too deep into.
No. We stay away from that stuff. But, I mean, this came up with Jared because of his new movie. And I think that it's something that people need to talk about more, because he should not be getting roles with the things that are out about him. Like, something should be happening. There should be law enforcement involved. Yeah,
Leon, I think Danny Masterson didn't like asking if it was okay.
Correct. From that 70s show.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Joaquin and River Phoenix, there was like 7 children, they were also in that cult. There's a lot of famous actors that were in that Children of God cult.
But like, I think they got out when Joaquin was like 2 or 3 or something.
They were little.
Yeah, well, Joaquin was. I don't remember the ages of the siblings.
I don't remember. Was he older or younger than River?
I think he's younger than River. Because I remember having the biggest crush on River Phoenix too. I was a little kid and it didn't matter. He was so cute as like Indiana Jones.
Yes. Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times me and my sister would rewind that part of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like, VHS tape.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, there was who else was in Hollywood has gotten away with this? Besides Woody Allen being a creep. And then
well, and it's not just Hollywood. I mean, look at a bunch of famous musicians.
Oh, well, there's I cannot remember his name, but he used to tour with Jeffree Star. Dobby Vanity.
Yeah. Steven Tyler legally adopted his underage girlfriend so he could take her on tour.
Gross. Every musician, Kiki Ray. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly.
There's a list so long, if you really started naming it all, everyone would be sitting in the chat right now like, well, shoot, who can we listen to on the radio?
Exactly. And then who is it? Was it Roman Polanski?
Yes.
Yeah. And he had like roles after that and made a ton of money and just went to Europe.
Exactly, Big Papa. The one person that got canceled back in the day got canceled for keeping his hands to himself.
That's funny. That's so funny.
It's true though. Like he got canceled in the 90s or whatever, and he was the only one that wasn't doing this crap.
True. And who else I've heard about is Kevin Spacey.
But like, did anything ever happen with that?
No. He just admitted one day that he's attracted to younger boys. Like, what? That's what you just admitted to a crime.
Am I the only person who remembers how kind of gross 18 and under boys could be? It's just like, I don't know. I kind of prefer one who likes taking showers without having to be told.
Yes, true. Well, I mean, that's why girls always wanted to date like older guys in high school.
Yeah,
like guys in high school were gross.
So yeah, like I always liked the older guys. Like, I don't know, to me it'd just be, I can't think of anything I'd rather not do than hang out with a teenager for any reason.
Exactly. Listen, I have to mute myself for a second and take a call from work. Apparently there's a crisis. Sorry, I'll be right back.
So I guess that just leaves me to talk. This is going to be fun, y'all. So while Kim's gone, we'll just go ahead and talk about the cult that he's in, and then we'll pick up the important conversation when she comes back, because I like to play off of her. She's smarter than me. So what started out as a summer camp, they turned into like renting out an island, and you can pay to go there. It's like, I want to say maybe like $700, and you can camp in like a tent that can be shared with people, and you sleep on the ground and stuff. Or you can like pay $6,500 and you get to spend the week with like VIP access to him, where everyone has to wear white. They sit in a circle and listen to Jared Leto preach while they worship at his feet. They watch the stars together. And it's just like really cool, normal shit like that. So like people are like, hey, you guys are in a cult. And they're like, no, we're not in a cult. But, sounds kind of culty to me. Yes, it's an island commune. It's called like Island of Mars or something. It's something so. It's seriously like something like a little kid would name their like Sim City or something. Kim's never off, Jesse. I wish. Yes, it's They always do love private islands because only assholes can afford private islands. Andrew Keegan does not still have his cult. I actually have been working on a video for that, but he did. I mean, he was trying to keep that open in like one of the most expensive parts of California. There was no way. Like, they shouldn't have reached so high up as they were a startup cult. They probably should have started somewhere cheaper, like Oklahoma or something, and then expanded. Andrew Keegan has an identical twin brother. Huh.
I'm back. I am so sorry.
That's okay. I totally quit talking about what I was what we were talking about because I was going to let you lead that.
Oh, were you talking about cult following?
Yeah, we were talking about his Mars Island.
Oh my gosh. I every time I read about a cult, I'm like, listen, I don't know how we got here, but we got here somehow, and this is ridiculous. And I just had better faith in humanity that we wouldn't fall for this stuff and do the things that we do. But apparently we're creatures of some kind of habit. We need someone to tell us what to do.
On the island, they go to the Church of Mars, okay? But they're like, we're not a cult.
Right. You just live on an island with other people who love Jared Leto and go to a Church of Mars, not a cult.
Well, and they call themselves the Echelons. That's fans of 30 Seconds to Mars.
Right. I
would be most likely to go with the island. Well, see, Leon, I don't know though, because I don't really have $7,000, and so there's no way in heck I'd be somebody sleeping on the ground.
What was that movie of the island cult of women with the bees and Nicolas Cage?
Not the bees. That's all I can think of.
Is it Wicker Man? Is that what the name of it was? Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of away. I don't like island cults, even though I get your point, Leon. I do understand. But Leon, of all the churches that you would want to go to, I would think it would be the Church of Mars. Not cult king. Yeah. Cringeworthy cult. Yes. So someone mentioned Andrew Keegan's cult right whenever I got back here.
Yes.
How weird is that he has a cult? Yes, we've gone down a path of ADHD squirrel. Sidetrack.
They lost it because, like I was explaining, they had it like, where was it at, Stina? You probably know. It was like Santa Monica, maybe. Like, he had a really expensive building that he was running his cult out of. I was like, he aimed too high to be a new cult. He should have started somewhere cheaper. Because like 30 Seconds to Mars didn't start with the island. They started with hosting summer camps. And as it grew, they bought the island. Malibu, maybe? Yeah, I think it might be Malibu. But it's like a really expensive property.
Yeah, well, this is why I know that I will never be the leader of a cult, but that you totally could be, because you think of all these things, and I'm like, yeah, cult, what? Everyone's going in that direction.
Yeah, but see, you have the public speaking, so I'll just come up with the plans, and you can do the public speaking.
I can be the preacher.
Yes.
Listen, we did decide that we were going to start our own religion, right?
Yes.
With different gods, and we had the Parkalodicus, the parking lot god. What other god do we have? We had the god of
the green light, right?
God of the green light. That's correct. So you get green lights all the way. It's because the God of the green light made it happen for you.
You were in his favor.
Yeah. I would like a God of the lottery tickets.
For real. I just knew that when I bought one while I was in Florida, it was going to win. And it didn't win.
So, funny story about that. All hail to Our Lady Kimmas. Rum is an offering. That's a very nice offering. I like it. So funny story about lottery tickets in Florida. The girls remember you saying that, and they're like, "Well, I guess Stacy didn't win the lottery because they haven't told me that they're coming back yet." And then Zoe today, she's like, make sure you tell Stacy I said hello. And then Zia goes, tell her I said hi and come back. So they're already ready for you and Preston to be back in Florida.
I'm ready to be back in Florida. It was 40 degrees today.
You know, it got chilly. I say chilly, not 40 degrees, but it got chilly in Florida this morning. It was like in the 50s. And it's got up to like 70 today. The high was a balmy, beautiful 70 degrees. It's like the perfect weather in Florida right now.
My mom's going to be in Florida next week.
Oh,
I was not
going to
invited.
the mouse?
She's going to Universal.
Oh, is she taking Emma?
No, she's going with one of her friends won a cruise. And she was going to go down to Orlando a few days early. So mom's going down there with her and they're going to hang out at the theme park for a few days. And then mom's coming home.
Oh my goodness. She's going to be here. Tell her to call me.
Yeah, she's pretty mad. Like I'm pretty jealous of her. I'm like, I'm going to be at work and you're going to be at Universal, but whatever.
What is, I know. Well, we've got to plan something though soon because I'm told not
just not coming to Arkansas.
Like, that was so funny. It's like, we got to go to Arkansas, and you and Preston both were like, no, absolutely not.
There is literally nothing here.
So what I have questions about the chat. First, what is 12 degrees in Celsius? What does that equal to in Fahrenheit? And secondly, what did Big Papa say? Oh, the only people who win the lottery are rich. Have you ever seen that show about the people who win the lottery house or whatever? What's it called?
The Curse of the Lottery.
There's the Curse of no. There's one where it's all people who have won the lottery and they're buying houses.
Oh, I don't know.
And let me tell you, these people are not rich. These people, and they spend every penny of what they win buying these stupid big houses for no reason.
Forgetting that they're going to have to pay taxes on them, even though they have no money left now and all this other dumb shit. They're like, all right, and because our yard is so big, we had to get this gold encrusted golf cart. And you're like, you had to, huh?
Yeah.
You had to add the gold leaf to the seats, did you?
Oh, yeah. Their toilets are gold and they sing to them. Crazy stuff like that. Like $40,000 dining room tables. And
it makes poor me look at them and be like, you're new rich.
Right. Yeah, because it's also tacky. And then everything that they do, like, you're not going to have $50,000 a month to pay your mortgage. You're not going to have the amount of money that the property taxes are going to cost for that giant house and all that land. They don't, and then
I hope they got the energy saver bulbs. Hopefully.
Exactly. I was like, let's not even talk about an electric and water bill. To
like,
run.
No, actually, we don't turn the air on here. We just have a window unit in the one room of the house we can afford to use.
Welcome to my 10,000 square foot mansion where we have window units.
We turn them on as needed. Like,
oh my god!
don't you dare turn that gas on in the in the wintertime. Like, we have a space heater and we will just hang up sheets to block off the walls.
Right. Well, and no furniture. They're not going to be able to furnish everything. So it's just going to be like big giant rooms that you could skate in, make your own skate rink. Oh my god, you guys are so funny. Like 14 SUVs parked on the lawn, golf carts bricked out like Escalades, velvet Jesus paintings. Yes. So there's this huge house right near where I live. Stacey's seen it. You saw it, right? That big giant mansion. Yeah. So there's this huge mansion right, not very far from me, maybe a couple miles. And it's, I mean, I can't even describe it to you. It's so stupid big. But there's always like 15 cars parked there because that's how many people I'm pretty sure live in the house in order to be able to afford it. And it's so ridiculous because it's next to like trailers.
They gave grants out and they redid all of the historic parts of downtown Little Rock. And so some of these houses, you could easily fit like 6 or 7 of your houses inside. And I say that to Preston every time we drive through these neighborhoods. I'm like, I would literally have to have a roommate living in every single one of these rooms to be able to afford the mortgage on one of these houses. Like, what do these people do for a living?
I don't know, but I say that about pretty much everything when it comes to properties, because I know how much my mortgage is and what I paid for my house. And I'm like, my eyeballs want to pop out of my head when I look at the prices of houses right now, and people who do not have, I mean, they have normal middle class jobs and they live in these giant houses, and I just can't figure it out. I mean, I would have to run an Airbnb out of every room like you. You'd have to have a roommate. And then I'd probably have to sleep in my car and rent my own room out as an Airbnb just to afford it. But then
I just ran into the room. This bathroom's mine, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. You watch those on the HTV, HGTV, sorry, y'all, I'm high. Stuff where they're property hunting. And
I'm a substitute teacher, and my husband hangs orange peels from the garage, and we have a budget of $900,000.
Exactly. Like, he's an orange peel artist, and she, trains llamas, and they're buying like waterfront property. Biltmore is gorgeous, Big Papa. Biltmore is ridiculous, but it is gorgeous. Go in the winter. They serve hot apple cider while you're standing in line outside. Have you ever been to the Biltmore, Stacey?
No. I was looking at Shammer saying she was buying something small. Like, don't get me wrong, Kim and I aren't buying something small. Like, we're building the ultimate Golden Girls house, but we're going to be smart about it, not do it somewhere where the property taxes will eat us alive.
Exactly. We're going to live in a state where we don't have, we don't have to pay state income taxes. And we're going to
buy land out in the unincorporated part of town.
Yes, which is why there's a mansion right down the street from me, because where I live is unincorporated. So there's a lot of land and a lot of big old stupid big houses out here.
Oh yeah, Julie, we have bathrooms in our bedrooms. At least the master bedroom has its own bathroom.
So I watched this. We're way off topic, but whatever.
We'll go back.
We'll go back eventually.
We'll circle back.
So, Jared can sit on the back burner for a minute.
I mean, fuck him anyway. Like, after the shit I read.
True. I mean, do you guys really want to know about him? Because he's just an asshole. And
like, the youngest child was 15, and I'm using the word child intentionally there.
Yes. Yep. And his all of his like online escapades, they're saying we're at least 18. But Jared Leto's like what, 50?
Yep. And the 15-year-old happened in like 2005-ish. So if he's 50 now, he would have still been in his 30s then.
Correct. Mid 30s. Yes.
So, yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, so fuck that guy. We're going to talk about bathrooms in houses in America. So, yes, like I watched this TikTok guy and he's British, and every one of his TikToks is about things that are different in the US, and he's so funny about it. So people have said like wait till you hear about Hidden Valley Ranch. Like he had never tried ranch dressing, and then it was odd to him that we have laundry rooms because the washer is in the kitchen in his apartment, like but we have entire rooms for laundry. So I think it's funny that Julie said, oh my god, you have bathrooms in your bedrooms. Almost every bedroom has a bathroom attached to it, and or you have like two bedrooms that share a bathroom.
That was the one requirement I had when we were looking for houses, and we had no business to have any requirements because we were so young and broke when we were looking for houses. But I was like, yeah, I need a minimum of 2 bathrooms.
Yeah. Mine has always been I must have a dishwasher. I must. And you and I have had that conversation because we wash the dishes before we put them in the dishwasher. So why do I need a dishwasher? But I need it.
To get anything we might have missed. Plus, it can stand hotter water than me to rinse them off to sanitize them.
Exactly.
And I just don't trust the dishwashers.
No.
But I have to have it.
It can do a better job, but we still don't trust it. So we do its job for it first, and then we put them in the dishwasher.
See, Julie, I have to have my own bathroom because I refuse to put my stuff away every single day. I'm like, I'm going to need that again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So my face lotion is just going to sit here on the counter.
Yeah, women need their own restroom. It's, I don't like having to share. So I like my own bathroom. And if you, like, let's say you have to brush your teeth at the same time as your partner, I got to have a different bathroom for that. I'm not going to stand outside of one and wait. Tessie, you have to share a bathroom. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like I don't even like sharing a bathroom with Preston. Like,
No.
he was using my really expensive body scrub as face wash, and I didn't know it because he just washes his face when he's in the shower. But, like, I was running out of my body scrub quick. And, like, I don't use it every day because it's an exfoliant. You don't use it every day. So there was no way I was using that much of it. He's like, man, I really love that new face stuff you got. I was so mad. I can't even lie. I was so mad.
That's so funny. I mean, it's like, finding the most expensive thing. Like, I don't like for people to use my shampoo. I don't like the girls to use my shampoo. Because if I'm going to pay a ton of money for it, I don't want my 5-year-old dumping half the bottle out on her head.
Well, her hair was really dirty.
Yeah. They don't know when to stop. Neither of them have figured out like the right amount of soap for anything. It's either not enough or way too much.
My little sister, for the longest time, never could figure out that you had to like rub your whole head with the soap. So she'd always come out with like just the front part of her hair clean.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, no, go try again.
Kids are so gross. Let me tell you, like, I think that's something that every kid goes through, is just not wanting. I don't know why kids don't want to be clean, but I can't tell you how many times I've turned my daughter around and said, go get back in the shower. Like, I don't know what you did for the last 10 minutes, but it wasn't showering. So
Don't they
go
have
back.
like mouthwash or something now that will like teeth shame your kids if they didn't brush them well enough?
We used to have those tablet things that we like the dentist would make us chew them, and they did it at school too to teach you how to brush your teeth. And everybody thought it was so cool because it would turn your teeth different colors. And they would say, this is how much plaque is on your teeth. Go brush your teeth, kiddies.
Yeah, we totally have been a squirrel, Big Papa, but I think it's really just we did intend to go really deep into Jared Leto, but honestly, it's just fuck him. If and again, it's just allegations, so do your own research, come to your own conclusions. But let me just tell you, that many people don't come up with the same story where you were telling them to call you daddy.
Ugh. Gross. Makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little. You need an outdoor shower for Big Papa.
I could just see, Tessie, I could just see in the summertime, just be ready on the porch with the water hose in hand, like, not coming in my house like that.
Right. Well, dirty jobs, somebody's got to do them.
Oh yeah, Preston comes home all the time just covered in ink.
Yeah, he was telling me about that, how he just has like blue all over him and he looks like he's bruised up. And
one time he came home and like he climbed up underneath the machine, so like ink was just dripping on him the whole time he was under there, and he came home looking like he had like the worst case of jaundice because he was just like stained a pale yellow.
That's awful. Oh my gosh.
I was like, people are gonna think you're so sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could work in his favor, right? Get you to the front of the line.
I know, Snowflakey Flake. He's 50 though. Like, it blew my mind too. I was like, no, he's not, because I'm only. Never mind.
Right. I was a little girl. Like, my so-called life was early 90s. So I was young.
Yeah, I was young too, but I can still do the math from the 90s to now. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm only.
Exactly. You're only as old as you feel, apparently, because I do not feel like there's a 4 at the beginning of my age at all.
It's like I was telling Preston the other day, like, I don't feel like I've known him as long as I've known him. It's insane to me because it does not feel like that much time has gone by.
I know, but time flies. I mean, it's unrelenting. It's can't stop it. It keeps going. I'm not going to depress everyone with my existential crisis about time and aging.
Well, that's another reason we're going to win the lottery. That way we can just age like Madonna.
Okay, so, or we're just going to do what they did in Death Becomes Her and figure out how to
just live forever.
Exactly.
Only we won't fight about it because I would never try to take your dude.
I would never blow a hole through your stomach with a shotgun.
I would never do that either.
Even if we knew that we were going to live forever.
And there's seriously no guy that I would fight with you over.
Also true. So
I'd even let you have Jason Momoa. Like, no lie, he's yours.
Yeah. Oh, I just love that Jason. I've never been a big fan of The Rock, but Jason Momoa, he's a good looking one.
I never understood the I never thought The Rock was that cute.
I didn't either.
I thought he was kind of funny, but I never thought he was like cute.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I just watched the girls love that movie Jungle Cruise with him.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's actually really cute, and it's just like the ride at Disney. Like it's just like it. It's so interesting, but um, it's he's one of the main characters, and it's a cute movie. Well, the girls love it, and Zia especially. There's a part where they're going down rapids, and they all get sick, and they all start throwing up. And Zia always says, "Can we watch the throw up part again?" Like she wants me to keep rewinding it and going back to that part, which is so funny to me.
Well, like I said, as long as I can have Evan Peters.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. Yeah, yeah.
Julie will fight for Harry Styles and Leon. You can only pick one, Julie. It's time for you to tell Leon who you care about the most. I just told Preston I care about Evan Peters the most.
Preston is not jealous at all.
Preston would probably choose Evan Peters too if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah. He would say, "Listen, I love you, but this is my pass."
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "Shut up."
So I am wearing, and I'm not going to turn my camera on because I'm tired and I look horrible, but I'm wearing my I got stoned in Casadega.
I wore mine this weekend, and I actually got a compliment on it.
Did you really?
I did. As I looked down at my shirt, and I'm like, "Thank you," because she's like, "Oh wow, I like your shirt," and I was like, I knew what I was wearing, but I'm just like, I mean, it looks like something that I made after Preston bought me a Cricut.
I know. Well, and I'm pretty sure that that's what it was made with. Like they make them themselves down in the psychic camp.
But like, I mean, like they have like the ability to make crafts that I also possess.
Well, maybe you are a medium and you should be in the psychic camp because you can cut out vinyl and put it on a shirt.
I would have known the printer was breaking. Just saying.
Okay, so guys, while we were there, we were in one of the shops, and the printer for the aura photos, you could have a photo taken with aura around you, which is just like overexposing the photo. Let's just be real. And they charge like $30 for those photos, by the way. So the printer, these people bought them because I don't know, you guys, it's ridiculous.
As we were standing in line to buy our t-shirts.
as we were buying these t-shirts that were homemade and rings and all the stuff that we bought. We bought a ton of stupid stuff.
We're like, these people are just buying stuff, and we're over here like, here's my ring and my bracelet.
I know. I dropped like $60 in there, but I'm judging people for paying $30 for an overexposed photo with their aura around it. And we drove how many hours down there and back?
It was almost 2-hour drive there and back, wasn't it?
Yeah, like we spent so much money going to the psychic camp. It was crazy.
It was super fun though, and I want to go back for like one of the adult nights. I'm not kidding about that.
We do have to go back. So we're standing in the store and we're trying not to like giggle and crack up about literally everything because there's psychics standing around and they're giving readings like next to us.
They probably already knew anyways because they're psychic, but
yeah. So the printer's broken and Stacy goes, "If they're so psychic, why didn't they know it was going to break?" Just about fell out, like fell on the ground laughing.
Well, because they're like, it's going to be at least tomorrow. Like, you'd think you would have ordered it a day early.
Right. Oh my God. You guys, I can't wait to show everybody what we filmed in the museum. I can't wait for you guys to see the museum.
I hope that you are able to keep the one joke in.
I'm keeping the joke stays in. It's in. And we're not going to get canceled for the joke either. But just be aware, everyone. There's a joke. It's off. It's not in good taste.
It's
It
not in
was
good taste at
hilarious.
all.
But I couldn't even like get the words out of my mouth. I was cracking up laughing.
After talking to you, I had to turn off the sound while I was watching the videos because all I could hear was like I was starting to count them where in the background. Well,
every time I would go, what do these tarot cards mean? He'd go, they mean whatever you want them to mean.
and then we opened our tarot cards, and he was right. They were like either it means you're going to have great success or horrible failure.
Right.
And you're like, no, you can't mean the same thing and be telling me what's going to happen. Those don't even, if you drew two circles, they would not interlap in any way.
No, but there's just this roundabout way of saying that everything means everything. And every tarot card that we had, when you looked it up, it basically said, this stands for love and for hate.
Yes.
So you're going to have one of those two.
Heck, you might love to hate. I don't know.
Exactly. So it was, we had so much fun at the psychic town with all the psychic people and
But then we found out to do the psychic reading, you had to go in a room by yourself with this psychic for 15 minutes. And we were like, well, we're not doing that.
Right. Yeah. And it was like $65-$70. And we weren't going to do that.
It was going to be like one-on-one contact with a person that I didn't know. And I like suck at maintaining eye contact and stuff. So I was like, I'm definitely not doing that.
Right. And also, I don't want them to look into my soul. So.
And see that I don't have one.
Right. That it's black and dark. You wimps. You would have loved that, Julie. You got to come to the States and go to the psychic town with us. I couldn't believe how many people were there. Firstly, like it's an attraction. And then some of the things that happened were just so outlandish that we couldn't even figure it out. Like we pull up into the town and a black cat walks across the street in front
of us. And I only got like 2 seconds of him because my damn phone wouldn't open. I was like, come on, I got to get this on camera.
Exactly. But I got a couple seconds of the cat too. But I mean, we were like, there's a cat walking across the street and it's a black cat. This is not coincidence. Everything that happened was just funny the whole time. So, but there were people that were serious in the psychic town about what they were purchasing and what they wanted. Like
I still have the biggest question though about if all these crystals did all this stuff like they said it did, how come not one of them were wearing crystals or had crystals hanging outside their houses where they all live?
Well, that is a very good question. Very, very good question. But you know,
I was wearing more crystals than they were that day.
I know, and I have crystals all over my house. Like I have selenite and rose quartz and all this stuff all over the house, and because it's pretty. So I couldn't figure out if people were buying it because it was pretty or if they thought that it was going to do something for them.
Hate it when someone asks me like, oh, what does this do? And I'm like, it looks pretty.
Right.
Like, I don't actually know what they look pretty.
I mean, let's just face it. All these rocks are beautiful, all the crystals and everything, but I would never be able to keep up with what they all mean.
Which there were a ton of crystals there, so we've got plenty shots of that to show everyone.
big giant ones, like big giant geodes and stuff. It was really cool. But then there was also like Harry Potter. So I don't know what he has to do with actually being psychic.
It had like a bunch of those little Halloween props that talk to you when you walk by. That was pretty spooky.
There's this one part of the video when I was editing the other day, and you hear like the little girls laughing, and I go, "What is that?" And you hear Preston go, "Well." It's these little movie props laughing. It's just so funny.
I told him about that. I was like, "You're like every 5 seconds." Well, and he's like, "I'm sorry."
But it's so true, though. Like, I mean, we asked a question, and that was his answer.
I think he had more fun at the psychic town than we did, actually.
Well, he enjoyed throwing us under the bus with all the people who wanted to talk to us. And we were like, we don't talk to people. We're going to move on now.
This same Starbucks lady 2 days in a row.
Right.
Where are you from? Like, we literally had this exact same conversation with you at this exact same time.
Yesterday. And she didn't remember that we had this conversation. And it wasn't just like a, hey, how are you? Are you headed to work? Like through the Starbucks drive-through. It was a whole conversation while we were waiting for the 50 drinks that we ordered.
Yes, and they didn't have order ahead turned on. So, like, we actually had to wait for them to make our drinks.
Yes, and we had to talk into the thing and order our drinks, which was really, that made me angry. But this poor girl, she just decided that I had one of those faces. She was going to ask us questions. She's like, so where are you guys headed? And I tell her, these are my friends. They're here from Arkansas visiting. We're going here. We're going there. And oh, that's so awesome. You would think you would like register that information and remember it the next day.
Right. Like she was like going into detail as to like what places we were going to visit that day. Like, do you not remember Tiger King, Gitch?
Yes. Yes. So that's fun. We didn't film that, did we? We just took pictures.
Yeah, we just took pictures.
There's like a place close to where I live, and it's like Carol Baskin's place, like Tiger King's place. So it's a big cat rescue. And we went and we walked all the way through the mud and took the girls too.
Zia like photobombed.
Yes. I forgot about that. So they had this big, you know, those wooden photo prop things where you stick your face through it. They had one of those at the entrance that has like the name of the rescue on it, and it's got all kinds of cool cats and kittens on it. And these people were taking a picture, and Zia went behind it and stuck her face through the one that she could reach and photobomb these people that we don't even know their picture. It was hilarious.
Like, I swear I only looked away for like 2 seconds. And it's like, where'd she go? And I look up and she's like, there is room for 4 on this platform, so I'll be your 4th.
Right. She's like, can't have an empty face hole. That's not a thing.
Oh, she's adorable.
Kiki Ray, I don't know if there are other psychic towns in the United States, but there is one in Florida.
It is the psychic capital of the world. But we got to stop talking about it. We're going to tell you all the funny stuff before we ever even make the video.
I know. And then people are going to be like, I don't want to watch that video. They've already.
Right? Like, we already know. Julie, we bought our tarot reading while we were there.
Right. We bought readings, and it was a tarot reading. We just didn't go into the tiny room with the person that we didn't know.
Like, it was, like, imagine, like, a little bitty trailer, very small trailer, and that has a walk-in closet. The walk-in closet was the room you went into, and that's going to be a no for me.
Exactly.
Especially for 15 whole minutes.
Was it accurate? Julie,
Julie, did you not hear what I was telling you? Like, it was literally like, this is going to be very, very good for you or very, very bad. So, like, of course it's going to be accurate because anything could be perceived as good or bad. And now that now that it's in my head,
it encompassed everything. So the psychic town isn't very psychic.
it's kind of like if I tell you something bad's going to happen to you and then you oversleep and miss the bus, you're like, well, she was right. Like, no, I wasn't. You were going to miss the bus either way.
Baggins, I'm so mad at you about that. I'm sorry, I just saw that. Okay. Anyway. I can't stop laughing. Oh, Lord. Okay, what I was gonna say before Baggins showed up with that joke. So I'm sorry. I've seen tarot readings that were somewhat accurate, where they hone in on one part of life and they do an actual reading. But these tarot readings encompassed literally everything about your life at any point in time. They were so vague.
Like, it sounded more like a child's riddle that you would hear, like, in the stories when it's like, okay, so now they walk up to the spider and they have to answer the riddle to move forward. And if they answer incorrectly, they'll die. It was that kind of riddle.
Right. Right. It was so ridiculous. It's all I can think of is like you I don't know if you've ever read, I'm sure you've read, but Charles Dickens with it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Yes. And it's a whole page, the whole first page of that book is just back and forth about different opposites. Like, it was like, that's Charles Dickens' opposite book, that very first page, and it was so boring. Anyway, but that's all I can think about with those tarot readings was it's everything, good and bad, love and hate, peace and war, all of it.
Like, yeah, okay, get out of here. No, those were like my kind of tarot. Like, I could read tarot if I'd known that you could just do that.
I know, right?
Like, oh yeah, this does not look good unless it does.
There you go, Leon. Leon knows Dickens, the true classics. Yeah, Baggins, seriously, it was like, I'm thinking, it was like, I'm thinking of a letter. Anyone know anyone that has an S in their name? That's exactly how that stuff is. And then what's so weird is that I had a work conference like a week later, and we had entertainment after the work conference, and it was a mentalist. And that's exactly what this guy, like, I could debunk every single thing he was doing and explain it, but people were so wowed by his sleight of hand, his trickery, that I was like, I cannot believe that all of you work for my company. I am so disappointed.
Good night, Big Papa and Tessie.
Good night. Thanks for being here with us. I know we've been rambling on for over an hour and not about our original topic, but fuck that guy. So good night.
And, we could probably cut out the entire 10 minutes we spent talking about how Jared Leto can fuck off into a short little video of its own for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just like to listen to us ramble about the fun times we have together and everything we make fun of.
But now that you guys were talking about that quote, I'm singing Tamawamba in my head.
Oh, I hate that song.
I do too. But it just immediately, so that's all I can think of now is he sings the songs that, and I'm like, please stop.
I know. Julie, listen. So, okay, I don't know who Darren Brown is, but my psych professor in college taught us how to do palm readings, like cold palm readings. I could absolutely convince someone right now that I am psychic if you're sitting in front of me in a table at a table that I designed and I was reading your palm. It is all about watching body language and tells. That's all it is. Baggins, I can't believe you. They hired entertainment. That's not entertainment.
No, I don't know what I don't know what I would have done actually if I had been there.
I was trying to hide. I was trying to like, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me every single time. It was awful. I did not want, and luckily I didn't, but
I feel like I would just be like, no, thank you.
right. Right. But then, okay, so I actually got mad during that because he went into this thing, like the story with one of the people he chose. He said, does anybody have a memory of when you were a kid with your grandparents?
Oh gosh.
Right.
Like,
so
no, I don't have not a one of those.
I know, right? Well, all these idiots I wasn't raising my hand, but all these people raised their hand. So he picks this one woman and he guesses a bunch of stuff with her and talks to her, but he's literally asking her like, and how do you spell that? And how do you spell that? And she's telling the story and then he has this card that has written on it like, it was great walking with you on the beach and collecting shells that day. Love, Meemaw, whatever. And it spelled exactly the way this person spelled it. And everyone's like, whoa. And I'm like, he asked the questions. And so, like, what do you mean, whoa? He just wrote it down off camera. This is not rocket science, people.
See, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do something like that. It would probably make me feel like I was really taking advantage of people.
And that's why I was so mad about it, because I feel like people want to connect to their loved ones. And if you are exploiting someone's, hurt and loss like that for money, it's really gross to me,
And like, there's way to do it without like there's those two ladies. They don't pretend like they're meeting your loved ones. They come out and cleanse your home if it's haunted already. They make a killing and they drink wine at the end of every episode.
Right. So if you believe that something's haunted,
call the psychic mediums.
Right.
They're two old ladies, and at the end of every episode, they say cheers, and they clink their wine glasses together. And it is great television.
Yeah, but it's not real.
Yeah, Lord Tebow, they remember the ones you got right because, oh my God, how else could they have known?
Exactly.
Like, because the other 10 were wrong, dummy. That's how they knew.
Yep. And they just, you ask so many questions, you forget. You just forget what questions were asked. And then people are like, wait, how did he know that?
How did he know that I had a granddad? Like, well, the odds were in his favor.
Exactly. So, I just think it's really gross whenever, and that made me mad, like exploiting someone's memory of her grandma like that just was, that's gross. Sickos. The psychic are a joke. Yes, they are. They are a joke, Julie.
And I just want you to know that a lot of companies, your faces are public. So if you hire me to do a show like that, I probably checked some of you out on social media to know a little bit too before I ever went.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. Like I mean, who knows what he was given, because it was, it was like 200 people, but they're all executives, and
And he's
someone
got
may
a
have
whole
given
team.
him,
He's got a whole team.
right.
If he's getting hired for big events like that, he's got a team. So there was a person sitting at a computer who pulled up y'all's business page where you all have professional photo shots.
Yep.
Cross-referenced it with any social media, and of that, at least 40% of you probably have open social medias, not locked.
Right.
And
So,
he came in there prepared.
Of course he did. Of course he did. There, what was so weird to me is like, there were things that he knew about people that people were like, well, yeah, how do you explain this? And I'm like, he looked them up beforehand.
We don't have to sit out, like put spies out in the audience and see if somebody accidentally says something out loud anymore. All we have to do is find your public Facebook page. You're going to tell us when you lose someone special. And not only are you going to tell us you lost someone special, but you usually include your favorite memory of that person that you lost. And if I read your social media and then I see you the next day, I'm like, I think I'm talking to your grandmother.
Yep, exactly.
Mildred, no, Millie?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not that hard to fake that in this day and age, because a lot of people do have their entire lives. They're like, here, know me.
Oh, I know. Mine's locked down. Locked down. You got to request to follow me. Oh, you and I can't even be friends on Facebook,
We can't.
right?
No,
That's hysterical.
because mine is locked down and yours is locked down, so neither one of us can request
to follow the other one. I was like, wait a minute, surely I can figure this out. But no, I couldn't.
No, I was like, all right, so I'm just going to send Kim a message on Facebook because this is hilarious that I can do that.
Right. I know. You can send me messages, but we can't be friends on the face page.
Which I'm never on Facebook anyways, but...
Well, it's because it's evil. Facebook is the dumbest, worst social media. It ruined social media. It ruined all of us.
I mean, between like the boss babes and
the drama,
the political stuff, and then people who like to argue on Facebook, there's just really nothing worth going to it for.
Yeah, no. Well, and it's like, there's keyboard warriors on Facebook, but what's even worse is that Facebook like has a dating thing now. Like there's people trying to date on Facebook. Like Plenty of Fish isn't bad enough, Go to Facebook dating. Crazy. It's and the drama that goes on there is just absolutely ridiculous. Like you post something and then someone that you're friends with that's friends with someone that hates you for whatever reason, and they're like, oh my God, did you see what Kim posted today? So
does it kind of feel like Facebook has turned into like the topics, but with pictures? Do you remember that website, Topics?
No, what was that?
It was like, I don't know, it was just a website, but you could like start like a little room in it. So it could be like a room in Little Rock, Arkansas, but it would just be like drama from Little Rock, Arkansas. And it would be like this person who hates this person talking about each other and fighting back and forth. Like Topics used to get crazy back in the day. And that's what Facebook has turned into. It's just you couldn't post pictures on Topics. You could only just talk smack. But I never said anything on there, but I would get on there because there's a town a couple hours from where I live where this lady, her dad helped her get rid of her husband for the life insurance money, is what everyone thought. But like it had been a year and there was no charges against him or anything. She had already been spending the life insurance money. Like everyone's like, what the crap? So I used to go to their Topics and be like, let me read if any new information about this murder lady. And they all did get arrested and charged with murder, but
I never heard of Topics. That's crazy.
None of y'all ever heard of Topics? That one was like, I was late to the game on it, but once I found it, I was like, I don't even know these people, but this is some funny stuff.
It's kind of like Reddit now.
Yes.
It's funny to
It's
read.
like Reddit, but it was happening locally.
So it's like the drama of the community. Instead of going to have to sit in the little hair salon and hear all the ladies talk about the Steel Magnolias talk about their drama.
Yes.
There's a whole website for it.
Yes. And it would be like super like specific too, because like it wouldn't just be like Orlando. It'd be like a direct like area of Orlando. So that way it was only people that knew about what was going on right there.
Oh, so it's like
the kind of like next door. Yeah, it's kind of like next door, but like nothing but like drama, and like there were no rules.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think there's any rules on Nextdoor, neighborhood apps, whatever. Those things are awful. I refuse to belong to any of the ones for my neighborhood because these people are ridiculous. And I just can't deal with it.
My mom just sends me screenshots of hers where there'll be neighbors complaining about the weirdest stuff. Like, these kids are too loud during the day and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's I just can't believe how weird these people are. And the cult across the street moved out for me, but she was the worst one.
Well, and when I was feeding Mom's dog when she went out of town last time, I went to pull in her road and there was a fire truck and a cop car. And I was like, man. And Preston's like, what? And I was like, if Mom were here, she's so nosy, she would be on her little Nextdoor app and I'd know what was going on.
Exactly.
And it's like not even my neighborhood and I don't even know who these people are. And I'm like, but now I need to know.
And that's why people get sucked into this stupid stuff.
Like, I almost messaged her and was like, hey, can you send me your Nextdoor login stuff? No reason.
No reason. Enjoy your vacation.
Right? Here's a picture of Pip.
Yeah. Well taken care of. I just need to know what's happening at the neighbor's house.
Right? And not even like her direct neighbor. It's like the street over that it was happening on. I'm like, I need to know.
Some of the rumors that go around in this neighborhood are
does it make you think like, do you guys think we're living on the Desperate Housewives set?
Yes. That's like we're Wisteria Lane because it's just so ridiculous. Some of the things that happen. And one of my neighbors the other day came and tried to start an argument with me and like had this whole long rant. And I have the witch that lives next door. I had the Mormons across the street. Like my neighbors don't really love me, I guess. And I'm like quiet and keep to myself and take care of the yard but I'm the odd one out on my cul-de-sac.
I don't know. I think the odd one out are the ones that just left.
Oh, God. The cult is gone. It's gone.
I also think it's funny that we sat out there to watch.
That was really funny when we were like, hold on, let's go get chairs and a joint. That was so funny. We almost missed it, but we were watching through the windows anyway.
I was so mad they came back when we were gone the next day.
Oh, I know. Well, they've been back several times, but now there's the person, I guess the company that or the bank that owns the house now came over and Glenn, my neighbor, he went across the street because he's so nosy and he meets the guy and he's telling him like, yeah, we're going to be doing extensive work to the inside of the house. And because they're asking like By the way, it went up on Zillow. They're asking like $320,000 for that house right now. And
Yeah.
that house is not the inside of it. Like they've got to do major work to get that kind of money out of that house. No way.
They have to do
from Baggins. I lived across the street from a family of Mormons, and they were an interesting bunch.
the amount of money they're going to have to sink into that house. They would still end up just owing more.
Yeah, well, because I heard there's like mildew and stuff from like a pipe bursting a couple years ago. They're gonna have to rip all the carpets out. Like they were not clean. So it's gonna be
And they lived there for how long?
14 years. No, maybe longer. Maybe closer to 18 years at this point. Because the house, she purchased the house whenever the neighborhood was built. So yeah. 18 years ago.
So 18 years and like how many kids?
3, but then you never know with all the other ones that were in and out.
Like 18 years of like wear and tear on that carpet. It was probably disgusting as all get out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So they're going to have to like completely gut the kitchen and all kinds of stuff. So, but I'm like, well, listen, if they're asking 320, then I'm listing this puppy for 350, you know,
like 380 or best offer.
Right. Exactly. So I'll make a couple 100,000 off of this one after all that's said and done.
Yeah, then you can just buy the house with the mother-in-law suite so that I have a place to stay when I come down.
Exactly. Well, I'm trying to find a house big enough, like the Golden Girls house, so that we can all just live there. Leon can come down, and Cena's joining us in the Golden Girls house.
I think Cher said she was going to because she doesn't like being up in that cold anymore.
Oh, I can't. I don't blame her. I can't stand the cold. Can't stand it. Jen, I've never had to repipe a house, so I didn't know how much it costs. That's interesting. I figured it would be more than that, maybe, but it's still, that's a lot of money to have to put into one project in your house.
I told Preston we'd have to sell our old pipes if we had to repipe the house.
Right? You got to get the copper.
Because we have full copper piping.
Got to go scrap that copper. You'd make like 30 grand off of that stuff, probably.
I was like, we'd have to, in order to afford to do that, we'd have to like sell all the old pipe.
Right. First, so you would have no piping in your house for a while.
Yes, we would have zero piping, and then Preston would have to do it all himself. That way we could save money there.
Okay, that makes more sense. It should have been 9,000, but we had a friend do it. Yeah, like 9,000 sounds like repiping a house to me.
Yep, Preston's our plumber here.
Yeah, I just had a new roof put on the house, and I was like, how much? Excuse me? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Mom had a new one put on her old house right before she moved into her new house. And she just did the metal roof because roofs are expensive.
You know, a lot of people are going to metal roofs. So, and it is, I mean, they're still expensive, but I guess they last longer.
They have like a 50-year warranty or something like that.
Right. Instead of, most roofs have a 15 to 20 year.
Yeah.
So 50 is a lot better. Pretty much you won't ever have to replace a roof again.
See, that's what we're worried about because our house is way old and we're like, oh, we have no idea about this roof.
Yeah, now the way they make them, those roofs hit 15 to 20 years and they're usually done.
Well, I see that there's some other lives going on tonight that people are super hyped to get into.
Oh, Yeah. And we've been talking for an hour and a half anyway, so
And not about our subject.
not about Jared Leto. Fuck that guy. You know. So I guess we should get off here. Say farewell to everyone until next time, which we don't know when that will be, a month from now. Maybe we'll go live sooner.
And we will record some of our Casadega, I promise, at some point this year.
And we will do a 400 subscriber giveaway before we hit 500.
Right. We did hit 400. I forgot.
We did. And we need to do a giveaway. And we haven't.
Oh, we were going to buy stuff from a Florida gift box and we didn't.
Oh.
Oops.
Oopsie. Well,
you know that
guess what?
I've never
I live in
actually
Florida.
thought of you're in Florida, but like, you know what just went through my head is that like Shaggy song or whatever.
Was the Wasn't Me one?
Or no, not Shaggy, Afro Man.
Which one? What song?
Because I got high.
Oh.
I was thinking like we forgot that we didn't get any of the stuff. We were going to do a Florida box while I was down there. And then immediately in my head, I just started singing like, I forgot because I got high.
Yeah, well, we stayed high the whole time. But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Jared Leto's gross. He allegedly. He likes his women young, allegedly. He's a method actor when he gets to do stuff that is sadistic and awful to people, allegedly.
Yeah, like used prophylactics and used bullets to people, like Will Smith. Gross.
Yes. And he likes to touch people inappropriately on sets, allegedly.
Allegedly. Don't forget that part.
So fuck Jared Leto. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.